Hello and welcome, this is Noah with Nomad Gaming, and we are here with another video for the Marvel Champions LCG. Marvel Champions is of course a living card game produced and distributed by Fantasy Flight Games. Last week we did our first deck building video on the channel, and I appreciate the comments and feedback from that video, but I wasn't altogether thrilled with the style of that one. So this week we're going to be adopting something a little bit more traditional in the form of a deck tech, and we're going to try to review an already constructed list featuring the Thor hero paired with the aggression aspect. Before deck building, we need to understand our hero and his abilities. If you haven't seen our hero review, click on the on-screen card for a little bit more in-depth review of this hero and his entire signature pool. As you will know, our hero's two sides have some distinct but useful abilities. In alter ego form, we have the ability to perpetually recover our hammer. As hero, we get to draw cards when we were engaged by a minion. We will want to keep both abilities in mind and take advantage of any synergies that we can see. The 15-card signature pool for Thor features some very powerful cards that we will look to take advantage of. Defender of the Nine Realms is going to give us minions for card draw, and we are going to have some powerful damage effects. For this build, I'm choosing to focus on one of my favorite cards in the pool, Lightning Strike. Highlighted here, we can see that this one-cost event is going to give us a huge AoE damage based on the number of energy resources we can spend. We're going to be looking for opportunities to draw additional cards and stockpile energy resources for our prime damage. Let's take a look at this aspect and the basic cards that we're going to bring to our plan, starting with our allies. We're going to make use of 3 key allies in this deck. I usually want 4 or 5, but I chose to cut my 4th option at the end of the deck build. For those who are interested, I had a Hulk in the deck until we did some playtesting and found that the couple of mineral resources that we need to run just kept popping out for a discard on Hulk. So in the end, we dropped him. I do like him in this deck, and I think that he would replace Tigra in many scenarios just because we hit so many lightning resources and can deal that damage around. But we do run Tigra. Tigra's ability allows her to finish off an ally every turn, and it can be very useful with our payoffs like Hall of Heroes and Chase Them Down, to have her put that final 2 damage on, and then she can heal up and keep herself alive. Valkyrie has the prized energy resource icon, and her direct damage ability is definitely a huge bonus for using those energy resources to play her, so we're going to have her in for that extra synergy. And then finally, Mockingbird is really a staple that's going to let us stun the villain and buy us more time to get our lightning strike set up. I can see an argument here to replace her, but ultimately I find the stun is very good, and especially with a hero that wants to stay in hero form as much as possible, getting an extra turn by stunning the villain is usually pretty good. The resource type isn't inconsequential here because that strength resource is going to play well with Relentless Assault, which we're going to talk about in just a few moments. As far as supports go, we have 2 unique supports in Hall of Heroes and Avengers Mansion. The Hall was literally made to play with Thor and gives us a great chance to restock on cards every few turns. Though we hope not to be playing through dozens of turn cycles, we definitely can take advantage of this. The Mansion, though expensive, gives us a great way to boost our hand size for our lightning strikes. More cards that we can have in our hand should mean that we have more energy resources, which means that we do more damage. Finally, Tac Team makes the cut here largely for the energy icon, but it is pure efficiency that can pair well with Hall of Heroes, Chase Them Down, and Tigra to keep things under control. Because of the energy icon and the synergy, we do go with this as a full 3 of. In the upgrade slot, we're going to be running Battle Fury and Enhanced Reflexes. Only a 1 of on Battle Fury. It has a good effect in a resource match, but it is limited to 1 per player, and it's not really the keystone of our strategy, so we'll be using it as that lightning or energy resource more often than not. Enhanced Reflexes is cool here because it lets us pay for Lightning Strike either from the board or from our hand. Getting it on the table and leaving it lets us redraw our Lightning Strike faster and then cash up energy for us to use in those future turns. Not only using 2 of these is going to keep us down at 40 cards, but I'm definitely happy to pull this in a mid to late game hand to get things rolling again. We are going to be building around having minions engaged with us and getting those lightning strike payoffs, so we are going to be running 4 events that work well with that. First off, Get Over Here is going to let us deal damage, engage minions when we're playing multiplayer, and if we do that, we get to consequently draw cards. Relentless Assault is strong against minions, and we have some incidental damage icons, and wild resources to pay for it, so the overkill gets to happen more often than we're going to think. We have been touting the utility of Chase Them Down over the last couple of slides, and getting to proc that and clear threat is very good. It's free, so that's an extra bonus. Because it's situational, I'm not going to run a full playset, but it is still very good, especially in minion-heavy scenarios at keeping our threat down. Finally, we're going to run 2 Haymakers. We're going to bring those to the table because they have a good resource match. The direct damage fits perfectly into our theme, and we're only going to run 2 because of deck size, but it's great value and it's definitely a worthy include. We're going to wrap it up with our resources. We don't run Genius, the Genius double resource, and that's going to keep us at 40 cards. We don't have many payoffs for the mental resources, and we aren't too expensive across the board, so we don't really have to run all 3 double resources. We really don't want resources that aren't energy, but if we have to have them, we want the resource match with Relentless Assault, so that's why Strength stays in over the Genius. The Power of Aggression is a standard include. It's got wild resource, so it's really playable, and then the double comes in very handy trying to get out some of the stuff like our couple of aggression allies, or even to pay for things like Relentless Assault. Finally, let me know what your thoughts are on going light on the double energy cards. Have you guys tried this strategy? Do you think it's unwise? What are your thoughts and perspectives on only running 2 of the 3 double resources? Wrapping it up, we're going to have the full list here. I enjoy the main engine of this deck. It's a lot of fun to be able to pull enemies in, look forward to getting them out of the encounter deck, and then crush them with our direct damage or with our hero card. It can struggle when you don't see any minions come out, and for that reason, it's kind of best to pilot this deck into scenarios where you know that there's a high number of allies that are going to be played. But of course, we're going to link the deck list for this in the description in case you want to try it out for yourself, or tweak it and then leave us some comments about how you would modify the deck to play it a little bit differently. Thank you again for watching our deck tech today. Let us know what you think about this build. What aspects have you been playing with Thor? Drop us a comment or a deck list. Let us know what you think is working the best for you, and give us suggestions about what you'd like to see more on the channel. To stay connected and get updated with happenings on the channel and all things Marvel Champions, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications to keep track of what's coming through. Tune in Friday for more gameplay videos, and until next time, let's go game.